In the headlines, police arrest 20-year-old bandits with 2 AK-47 rifles in Kaduna. Flood kills 10, displaces scores in Adamawa. NAFDAC commenced nationwide crackdown on illegal manufacturers and distributors of illegal herbal aphrodisiacs. And on the foreign scene, Chad national dialogue to begin following delays, boycotts. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I'm Dashan Husseina Usman. And now the news in detail. Police operatives in Kaduna State have arrested a 20-year-old bandit with 2 AK-47 rifles at Galadimawa community in Giwa local government area of the state. Spokesman of the Kaduna State Police Command, Mohammed Jalige, said in a statement that the bandit was arrested by police operatives of Operation Restore Peace. He said the operatives, acting on incredible intelligence, dislodged an identified kidnappers' den at Galadimawa Forest after engaging the bandits in a fierce gun duel. Jaligay said the operatives recovered 2 AK-47 49 rifles and 5 rounds of live 7.62 by 39 mm ammunition, as well as handsets. The suspect is currently undergoing thorough investigation, while operatives are still on the aggressive pursuit of his fleeing gang members. A lawyer has been reportedly shot dead by unknown gunmen at the Gusau bypass. The victim, Barrister Benedict Azza, who was killed on Thursday night, is the principal associate of Benedict Tonji Legal Practitioners, Gusau, in Zamfara State. Sources within the area say the gunman wanted to kidnap the victim in his residence at Saminaka area behind Federal Road Safety Corps bypass in the Gusau metropolis, but he was able to escape with his car. The gunman later chased the lawyer to the express road where they shot him. Meanwhile, Chairman of the National Bar Association, Zamfara State Branch, Barrister Junaidu Abubakar, has confirmed the incident. The Zamfara State Police Command, while confirming the incident, said the police have since commenced discreet investigation to unravel those behind the incident with a view to apprehend the perpetrators to make them face justice. 4 additional victims of the Abuja-Kaduna train attack were on Friday released by their abductors. Kaduna-based publisher and negotiator Tukur Mamu confirmed this in a statement issued in Kaduna. Among those released is the oldest victim, a grandmother of 90 years, Halimatu Atta, and her 53-year-old daughter, Adama Atta. Muhammad Sani Abdulmaji and a Sokoto indigene, Modi Bolonga, were also released on Friday. Mamu, in the statement, called on the federal government and Christian Association of Nigeria to secure the release of a 21-year-old Azarfa Lois, as the abductors are planning to marry her as they did to Leah Sharibu. 10 persons are confirmed dead by flood in Gire local government area of Adamawa State. The Executive Secretary of Adamawa State Emergency Management Agency, Suleiman Mohammed, who confirmed the incident, said several others were also displaced in Jabilamba town and its environs during the Thursday torrential rainfall. He explained that 6 corpses have been recovered while 4 others are still missing, adding that the natural disaster led to the hospitalization of 3 children following a building collapse. The agency has now sent an assessment team to the affected areas. Members of a reconciliation committee created by People's Democratic Party 2023 presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar and Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State, as part of the framework for the resolution of their differences, met in Port Harcourt for over 4 hours on Friday without achieving the desired reconciliation. Addressing journalists at the end of the meeting, Governor of Adamawa State Amadou Fintiri, who led Atiku's team, stated that talks were ongoing to achieve the desired objectives. Similarly, former Governor of Ondo State Olusegun Mimiko, who led Wike's team, said the agreement by members of the committee to bring about unity in the party will soon be achieved.
Nigerians are anxious and waiting for us to take over government in 2023. We have met as leaders, members of the same political family, and we have open discussion, work in progress, and we will continue. At the end of the day, we will broker peace and we will unify the party and Nigerians.
There is no question about the fact that we have agreed that there is need for us to enhance unity within our party. This is a reconciliatory process. There are some issues out there which needs further deliberation. Then we'll meet again. It's a continuous process.
Senior Special Assistant to President Muhammadu Buhari on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, has said the federal government will soon reveal the identities of important personalities behind all theft in the country. Speaking on Trust TV's Daily Politics on Friday, Shehu hinted that there might be cases of some law enforcement agents engaging in the illegal act, but said that new measures were put in place to stop it. He said it is embarrassing for Nigeria not to meet up with the quota given to it by the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries.
We ought to see more commitment by communities in assisting law enforcement, where communities, or even in some cases, some actors in the law enforcement process are themselves complicit. It becomes, we are unable to meet our OPEC granted quotas. We used to fight OPEC, give us more quota. They give us quota, we are not able to. This is very embarrassing. And as we speak today, you know that the Nigerian Navy, the Army, they are massively involved. In fact, all of the security agencies are massively involved. I'm hoping that in the next few days, Office of the National Security Advisor will be presenting to the nation big men who are promoters of this kind of business, who are beneficiaries of it. They're being caught. And the illegal refineries are being bombed out. Crude oil is being, and the NNPC is being recovered, and the NNPC has itself installed a monitoring capacity.
Mutual understanding among Christians and Muslims has been described as the best way to improve relationship between the two major religions in Nigeria. This was the submission of speakers at a peace conference jointly organized by the Islamic Movement of Nigeria and the Youth Wing of Christian Association of Nigeria in Lafia, Nasarawa State. Abubakar Abdullahi sent in the report as presented in our studio.
The gathering is to bring the adherents of the two dominant religions in Nigeria to brainstorm on issues that would further engender common understanding, which will enhance cordial relationship among them. Describing the event as apt, Nasarawa State Yowikan Secretary and Youth Leader, Islamic Movement of Nigeria, Ayuma Alaku and Musa Haliru harped on the need to foster understanding irrespective of any form of difference.
We are approaching the political, that is why we felt if we can bring ourselves, both the Muslim and the Christian youth together to understand the reason of the religion we are following and to also understand the God we are serving, I think nobody will deceive us to go and do what is not good in the name of religion.
Some clerics from both religions who spoke at the event reminded the faithful of God's desire to live in peace and harmony with one another for the sake of unity and development.
God created us as a diverse people because there is beauty and strength in diversity. If He wanted us to be of the same faith, tribe, color, and such attribute, He could have done so, but He chose not to. Both Quran and Bible show that we are the creation of the same God, which means that we are the same people and we will be meeting in the life after.
The speakers maintained that since everyone is currently battling the challenges of unemployment, poverty, insecurity, among others, without segregation, people of different faiths should embrace each other in an effort to overcome them. The chairperson of Yowikan in the northern states, Elizabeth Ajegena and Turaki Abdullahi, advised the gathering on the need to ensure equal justice at all times.
The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control has commenced a nationwide crackdown of all illegal manufacturers and distributors of an intoxicant called kuskura, herbal aphrodisiacs, alcoholic bitters, and other preparations. The Director General of NAFDAC, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, disclosed this on Friday while briefing newsmen in Abuja. The NAFDAC boss said findings from various operations carried out revealed a dangerous trend in the use of such substances laced with high concentration of tobacco and sometimes cannabis by the populace, cutting across gender and age groups, particularly artisans and Okada riders, among others. Professor Adeyeye said recently the agency received series of reports on the use of a herbal preparation, particularly in the southwest and northern axis of the country. An early years practitioner in Oshogbo, Osun State, Titi Lola Osho, has advised children to use the holiday period to sharpen their skills and learn new things that will be useful to them later in life.
During this holiday, take your...
In an exclusive interview with Trust TV's Hamidu Igbade in Oshogbo, Titi Lola, who is also a addiction coach, counseled children on security tips during the holiday to enable them stay safe, especially when parents are not at home.
Take your time to rest. Yes, that is very important. That's the essence of holiday. Number 2, make sure you develop your skill or talent. Tell mommy or daddy to get someone who can teach you how to play that keyboard better, how to play the drums better, how to make hair better, how to, do makeup, whatever skill or whatever it is that you enjoy doing, learn to do it better during this holiday. You can also learn things like cooking. Some of us children don't know how to even cook noodles. You can give it a try with adult supervision during this holiday. Baking is also something you can do. If you're a boy, you don't have to, go out there before you learn something. You can learn how to type on Microsoft Word. You can also use this holiday period to show your gratitude to your parents. How do I mean? When they return from work, tell them to bring up their feet. Give them the massage, all right? Write a thank you note to them. Appreciate them. Make a meal for them during this holiday. School time may not afford you that opportunity. Another thing during this holiday period is security. Children, I want you to, improve your security awareness. Don't open the door for anyone that you are not aware of coming to your house. Make sure you lock the door at the back when you are in the house. Don't use appliances that can put you at danger, e.g. gas cooker, hot irons that you know will not be allowed by your parents for use while they are home. Also, make sure that you don't play rough while at home. Yes, we can play, have some games, but make sure they are not risky play that can put people in danger. All right, so lastly, I want to say that during this holiday, eat well, sleep well. Don't just keep at the screen all the time. Rest your brain and have a great holiday. See you.
You're watching Trust News Update. Coming up after the break, how Nigerians cope with harsh economic realities. Do stay with us. Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. Let's take a look at some of our top stories. You heard that police arrest 20-year-old bandit with 2 AK-47 rifles in Kaduna. We also told you that flood kills 10, displaces scores in Adamawa. Moving to more news, the Nigerian Union of Journalists has described the decision by the National Broadcasting Commission to revoke the licenses of 52 broadcast stations nationwide over indebtedness to the commission as ill-advised and hasty. A statement by the national president of the union, Chris Isiguzo, insists that the action is ill-timed and reckless, despite NBC's claim that the clampdown had no political undertone. He noted that the revocation of licenses at this critical time of insecurity in the country appears to be a decision taken out carefully without taking prior deliberation, consultation, or counsel. Isiguzo, while regretting the inability of the affected broadcast stations to fulfill their obligations to the NBC in view of dwindling resources, called on the NBC to exercise more restraint in consideration of national security and allow for more dialogue and consultation to find better ways of dealing with the situation. Osun State Ministry of Justice on Friday vowed that perpetrators of sexual and gender-based violence in the state will be prosecuted thoroughly to serve as deterrents to others. The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Justice, Adekemi Adejare Bello, said this in Osogbo, the state capital, while receiving members of civil societies advocating for full implementation of the new Violence Against Persons Prohibition Law in the state. Executive Director, Community Advancement Initiative for Self-Reliance, Eni Ayeni, said the alarming rates of sexual and gender-based violence in Osun State calls for immediate action to end the menace.
Either domestic violence, sexual violence, or whatever, get justice. We are happy that law has been put in place in that respect. This is a violence against women law that has been enacted in Osun State, because it's not that we didn't have something like that in our law before, but this one has taken care of some lacunas in that previous law.
To see to the speedy delivery of justice to victims of sexual and gender-based violence. So we can't do that in the state without the power and the backing of the Ministry of Justice, and we know that the Ministry of Justice is a key player when it comes to justice. So that's why we are here today to ask the ministry to establish some of the things that are embedded in those laws, and one of it is the SAC Center.
My concern is the level of gender inequality in the state of Osun, which is responsible for the high rates of sexual and gender-based violence that is experienced by women and girls in Osun State. Osun State seems to be the worst place to live in. The way forward is for us parents to raise our children, boys and girls, equally.
The Borno State Stakeholders Consultative Forum of the National Senior Citizens Center has committed to ensuring that concerns and matters of older persons and aging are prioritized in the state. They gave the assurance in Maiduguri during a meeting with the NSCC Director General, Dr. M.M. Omokaro. The report.
The meeting came on the sidelines of the DG's engagement while in Borno State to attend the 2022 World Humanitarian Day and flag off of payment of one-off grants to the vulnerable in the state by the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Hajia Sadia Umar Farouk. More of a crucial advocacy engagement, the Director General renewed her appeal on the need for state governments to domesticate the National Senior Citizens Center Act 2017 and the National Policy on Aging 2021. Achieving this, the DG said, will properly situate federal government's resolve through the National Senior Citizens Center to reposition and give pride of place to senior citizens in Nigeria. Leading the delegation of the Vice Chairman and members of the Consultative Forum to the meeting were the Co-Chairman, Hassan Mustafa and Ambassador Ahmed Shehu. The National Senior Citizen Center's National Stakeholders Consultative Forum on Aging is a platform for coordinating all the state's steering committees and sharing progressive ideas on aging and related matters.
Nigeria, like other emerging economies, is confronted by a myriad of challenges crippling its development. In this report, Trust TV examines Nigeria as a state struggling to stand. The report.
Nigeria's population has hit more than 216 million, leaving the country open to economic implications which have impacted negatively on all aspects of society. It can be argued that economic imbalance have led to security challenges which have thrown the country into turmoil. Kidnapping and killing innocent citizens is on the rise, and years of economic uneasiness have driven up crime rates, leaving Nigeria in a vulnerable state.
Banditry, kidnapping, inflation, all of these things are enough to bring down the economy.
If you go to places like Kano, the farmers there need funds. My place in Delta, the farmers need funds. You are not giving funds to farmers, and you are giving money to people who are from Chad, who are from Niger. For what?
The education sector has taken a blow, and with it, the dreams of a young generation. But to cap it all, the World Bank has listed Nigeria among the top 10 countries with the worst inflation rate in the world, occupying the 8th position.
The economy is suffering. We inside is even suffering too. They affect the business in many ways because 90 to 95% of the goods is imported. So once the exchange goes up, the goods goes up. And this increment on diesel and fuel has made the local one even to go up because the rate of transportation has increased.
Rising inflation has impacted negatively on Nigeria's already difficult economic situation, with the people finding it difficult to keep up with unprecedented surge in prices.
All of us, we need a good governance in this country in different angle, because people in different way are talking, but they can't hear their voice. Please, in the highest authority, they should do something very possible to make sure that things is working again in this country.
People really always think about economy as the basic problem of Nigeria. No. So the problem is not corruption, it's crisis of nationhood initiated by capitalism. Our exploiter, those who invaded our land, exploited us to the core.
Despite projects, programs, and policy aimed at tackling these problems, Nigeria is struggling to leap up to take its rightful position among the Committee of Nations.
On the foreign scene, national talks on the future of Chad that the ruling junta says will pave the way for elections to commence on Saturday after delays and boycotts. More than 1,400 delegates from the military government, civil society, opposition parties, trade unions and rebel groups are in the capital, Jamena, for the national dialogue that is scheduled to last 3 weeks. The talks are the brainchild of Junta Chief General Mohammed Idris Deby. He said the forum should open the way to free and democratic elections after an 18-month rule by the junta, a deadline that France, the African Union and others have urged him to uphold. Deby took power in April 2021 at the age of just 37 after his father, who ruled for 30 years, was killed during a military operation against rebels. And finally, in sports, Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Sunday Dare, has charged sports administrators to be accountable and put Nigeria first in their affairs to make sports development better in Nigeria. Adeni Ajishafe has more.
Much emphasis on the Commonwealth Games, where Nigeria won 12 gold, 9 silver and 14 bronze medals to emerge 7th on the medal table. Dare, while speaking on 360 Sports Show on Trust TV, says athletes' welfare is paramount to achieve medals in events as competitions. Minister of Sport also highlights on the need to settle the athletes as at when due. The blend of home and foreign-based athletes can bring the best result for Nigeria, while the huge gap between football and other sports is reducing, while the new wave of achievement in other sports like athletics, table tennis, volleyball, and host of others.
The gold and the kudos must go to the athletes who spent a lot of hours training, between 150 to 250 hours, who took time to compete, some of the very bruising competitions, championships, who sacrificed and who went all the way.
Considering the glory Parasport has brought to Nigeria, hence the need to give more to Parasport athletes by approving Parasport Department and hosting of the 4th Parasport Festival in Abuja. Speaking on grassroots football development and governance, Minister of Youth and Sport Development declared that Nigerian football governance is beyond individual achievement as the nation comes first before any personal ambition, but stressing more the need to carry out proper checks on federations for accountability while adding that no sponsors will invest where things are not done properly.
There's a need to isolate lack of fund from setting up a proper governance structure. If you set up a proper regime around our football, the rules are hard and fast. It will attract sponsors. No sponsor will bring money to a disorganized and indisciplined football regime. It cannot be different with our country. We see what other countries do. From Egypt, we don't even have to go to EPL. From Egypt, Ghana and other places.
Nigerian coaches in different federations will be given opportunity to attend a general coaching clinic to boost their performance while improving on their digital sport science development to be funded by the Federal Ministry of Youth and Sport Development. That's Sport News. I am Adeni Ajishafe.
With this, we've come to the end of Trust News Update. Don't forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I'm Dashan Husseina Usman. Thanks for watching.